Hey guys, so I'm exhausted. I've not felt well all day because I ended up getting gluten. I didn't know it, so I've had to deal with the consequences of that. Um, I am going home Friday, which tomorrow, today, whatever you want to call it, at this hour. I finally, I reminded, the physician, the orthopedic physician that was supposed to see me all weekend was just not coming around. Finally came around today. Threats have been involved in getting him here. He saw me for about 7-ish minutes on Monday. He was very impatient and irritated because he needed to go downstairs and get to surgery, and he only had 5 minutes for me, and I'm thinking, well, dude, you should have come afterwards. Um, he definitely was the type of doctor that likes to dictate and wants to treat you on assumptions, I hate to say. As much as he's a man of science and you would think that that means he likes facts, this is not totally my experience. It was more about what he wanted, and that's not good. That's never good. So I made many requests for him to come here and talk to me instead of just saying, "Oh, now the plan is this, and now the plan is that. Oh, well, we're going to replace something. No, we're not. We're going to do this. We're going to do that." Okay, well, first of all, some of your choices are based on the wrong information, like saying, "I was told because I don't bear weight that it's no problem, should be fine. You go home, it's not like you're standing on them." Well, that's ignorant, because the concern with a fractured bone and loosened joint is the kind of pressure you're putting on it going in this direction. So you could achieve that by standing on it. You could achieve that by pushing your weight with your feet in order to transfer from one place to the other, whether it's laying, horizontally, but you could still apply an intense amount of pressure that could further break something. So, if he was actually willing to talk to me and understand that and accept that, we would get further. Um, the other doctors were going, "Oh yeah, no, that's a big deal. How you manage is a big deal." If a family member who's a nurse said the same thing. If they could just see you when you're doing all these acrobatics, they would understand that actually, this is not safe. There's a difference when I had one shattered leg or one leg or something, the prosthesis was poking through the bone. They call it joint replacement prosthesis. Um, but to have two, that's hard for me to compensate around, and that's where the risk is here, part of the risk. And this doctor not wanting to talk to me and figure some stuff out, or even care enough to just get me transferred over to a hospital that is much better equipped to deal with my kind of situation and has seen patients like me before. Because I'm from that generation of juvenile rheumatoid arthritis patients where they didn't have biological medicines to suppress the immune system to prevent the disease from doing damage. So I'm untreated because even when those medicines came along for medical reasons, I am not able to do those treatments. So I'm a super high risk patient. Most patients that are untreated have died in their early to mid 40s. So the fact that I'm still around is kind of a big deal. I'm always told by medical people, "Oh, we just don't see patients like you anymore." Some of them look at this as an opportunity to learn. Some of them look at it like, "Oh God, this is going to be annoying because I don't know what to do." And people are not trained what to do with a patient like me. It's like being given a polio patient. Doctors are not trained how to manage that illness and the disabilities associated with it because pretty much it's been eradicated. So they don't need to learn that information. They just need to learn it existed. This is kind of the gist of what it used to do. This is kind of how we manage things. but they don't get into the level of detail that they would if they actually suddenly were handed a polio patient. They would have no idea what to do. And that's the situation I remember all the time with everybody. Unless it's like a really old doctor who would have seen, if it's under his wheelhouse, a patient like me, then no. I'm dealing with a lot of people with no expertise in this area. In fact, I'm usually the one in the room with strangely more expertise on the subject. And then depending on the ego I'm dealing with, they either look at that as an opportunity to learn from me, and not as me being the dominant one, but as a shared communication where I can give them information that they would not have had otherwise, and then try to think out of the box, do some critical thinking. Hey, what can we do about here? Who do I reach out to try and manage the situation? In my opinion, there are the physicians that like predictable things, and there are the physicians that like the out-of-the-box challenges of, oh my God, what do we do? How do we figure this out? There's no answers here. We need to find answers. Both are not wrong. You need both, because you need the doctors that are very good at diagnosing the things that are standard and predictable, because those things can get misdiagnosed if you're not on it. And you need the people that would drive them crazy, it would make them bored, and they want to figure out, they want a challenge. The guys that need the predictable stuff, they don't want something that's a huge challenge and out of the box, because their energies are better spent trying to maintain people's health and prevent things from happening, and both are absolutely necessary parts of medicine. It's just, if people don't recognize where their passion is at and where their skill set lies, and their ego gets in the way, then you got a problem, because patients are not, they shouldn't be viewed as disposable, and someone like the doctor the other day, who just right off the bat offered me the one and only solution of amputating, he was looking at me as disposable. It didn't matter anything about me. That was going to be easy for him. Quick cash. He was probably thinking, I had to bet, she's in a wheelchair anyway. She needs help anyway. So if we remove her legs, it won't make a difference. Yeah, it will. That's a huge part of how I manage. That's a huge part of how I'm able to be alone. My arms cannot do the things for me that my legs can. It doesn't mean I can walk on them. So, no, it's a huge deal. And so doctors think that should not exist. There was this thing called the oath, do no harm. That was harm. Even if it was just emotional, it was still harm. So, and the surgeon that I was dealing with now, I don't know, if you don't want to listen, that's a major problem there. You might be all talented and skilled, but if you can't listen to your patient so that you know if what the approach you're wanting to do makes sense, because it's not, once they leave, it's not your problem anymore. So, that's how I felt I was being treated by him, is that it was all about what was good for him and what was good for me in his fantasy world. So, because if you don't want to listen to someone, that it is about your fantasy world, it's not about their reality. So, he was really trying to suggest that I would have more replacements. I'm not liking that. I do feel there's going to be some other opportunity that doesn't involve going that far. It also might be waiting on technology. I'm hoping that this doctor that he's recommended, who I am happy about, he is the son of the guy who did all my surgeries. And that guy, aside from being very talented and skilled, had amazing bedside manner. So hopefully the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. He also trained under his dad. So I feel like if he and I are put together, it might be a very good thing. His dad doesn't accept my insurance anymore, so that's the reason why I'm not going there. The transfer to the other hospital is not possible because Bottom line, because this doctor didn't want to do it. He can give all the excuses he wants, but he just didn't want to do it. He wanted to see things the way he wanted to, and you know, he didn't use his powers for good. He used his powers to be selfish and avoid doing his job, while other people were trying to get him to come and see me. I mean, he was getting paid to deal with my case anyway. He couldn't pick up a phone and call me. He couldn't walk up a few flights or take an elevator and come and see me and talk to me in person um, instead of making decisions based on assumptions. It doesn't sound like a good doctor to me. And until he was, it was brought up, hey, he's violating my patient rights. I explained why in detail. Because if you look at them and you compare what was happening here, yeah, you should not be doing anything based on assumptions. And I said to them, I just want a different orthopedic doctor. Just give me a different one. Whoever it isn't going to be doing surgery for me anyway, because this hospital is not equipped for a patient like me. I just need someone who can facilitate what I need. This guy is not it. So strange how suddenly he comes to talk to me after that and claims that, oh, he didn't know that I was trying to reach him. Threw everybody under the bus. I'm not a dummy. I know everyone else was trying to, get in touch with him. They all told me I'm going to text him right now. They were texting in front of me. They were leaving him messages, all this stuff. So it's like you could say what you want, but I know what the truth was, and I know that those people were making efforts, and he was making them look bad, and that's not cool to do that. When someone's trying to do their best job, and it's basically like that saying, no good deed goes unpunished. And it's kind of what he was doing. Instead of just, if he could have just been humble today when he met with me and wrote, I am so sorry. That was wrong of me not to come to you sooner. He should have just owned it. I would have respected him more. I would have considered him, not that I would want to go back to him, but definitely someone who can be humble. You do think about, oh, maybe it's worth giving them a chance again. So we did have a productive discussion. I still felt like he was, some of his approach was still not with my realities in mind. So that's concerning. But that's why, it's good to go for more than one opinion, because sometimes it is about the lesser of the evils. I just don't feel confidence in this guy, and I don't feel confidence in this hospital for the most part, unfortunately, because of a few people that mishandled things on a gross scale. But it is what it is. I just have to make sure I'm not going to fracture anything further. It is what it is, and at least when I'm home, I'm going to be able to properly monitor my diet and make sure I'm not getting food that I shouldn't be, because I will say something about this place. They got every single meal wrong. Whatever you order, it's not what you got. Something else was given to you that you didn't order. I don't know what's going on down there. Most of the time, they didn't understand what, gluten was, what was gluten-free, what wasn't. So that made eating a challenge. The food was good, though. It was really good. But you just might not be getting things that you should be eating. So that's why today I paid a hefty price, and I just could not function all day because I was so sick. Hey, at least I was in the hospital. But at least at home I'll be able to prevent that from happening, which is ultimately healthier for my body. So, thank you guys very much. I really appreciate all your love and support and good thoughts. It's really helped. And let's see what happens with the next legs of this journey.